Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren the Language Nerd here. I hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome to another episode of Easy English. Now, I am excited about today's video because I think a lot of you watching it, a lot of the English learners watching this here, I think you're gonna learn a whole bunch of new vocabulary that you just didn't know before watching this video, and you're going to get an excellent opportunity to do some listening practice. And I am excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. So in the video, I'm going to show you a conversation, a 2-minute conversation between myself and somebody that I know named Kyle on his podcast, which is called The Creative Block. And in this conversation, we are discussing why my name is Azren the Language Nerd. I actually suggest that with the new vocabulary and phrases and things that you learn in this video, I highly recommend you go in the comments and first of all, ask me any questions that you have. And second of all, write some practice sentences with the words and expressions we learn, and I will correct them for you. It's something I highly recommend, and I think that you should do that as you're watching this video and as you're learning some new things. So first of all, let's listen to this 2-minute conversation, and then I will explain a lot of the things that we were discussing and a lot of the new words that we discussed that you probably don't know. So here we go.
I know you as Azren the Language Nerd.
Yes.
Which may seem somewhat derogatory if it was taken out of context.
Maybe. Maybe
just a little bit. Maybe nerd is not as, I don't know, evocative as it was when I was a teenager, when I was a pretty big slur to throw at somebody.
I think it still is, depending on the person.
Mm-hmm. I want to start in a little bit of a different spot than what we normally do on this podcast and really delve into that persona, I guess, for lack of a better word. When did you realize that languages was something that you wanted to pursue?
Probably initially when I was 15, and then more seriously, I would say, it got more and more serious as time went on, let's say that.
Mm-hmm. When did you come up with that name, Azren the Language Nerd?
Would have been in 2016.
Okay, so
yes.
fairly recently.
Relatively recently, yes.
Why that name?
Well, because the initial reasoning, it's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to have something that was around language learning that brands Azren and languages together. But I thought, I'm not a language, I like my name. I really am obsessed with my name.
Okay. Well,
and so I wanted my name in there. I didn't want like a company name or something. I wanted my name because then if I ever change my mind on not wanting to do languages, my name is still there. My name is my name. It's not going away.
Right.
Right. But I wasn't sure, like, language genius? Can I be a genius if I'm like, am I in my 20s? Like, is that possible? Like, it says that sound bad. And so I thought nerd sounded appropriate. And on top of that, I remember thinking, like, when I reply to a YouTube comment, or if someone sees me reply to something or sees me, I want them, if they have the interest in languages, I want them to immediately see by name that, oh, what does he do? And click it. And I thought the language, Azren the Language Nerd, would allow people to do that.
Yeah, it's enough to draw them in to see or want to know more information, I suppose.
Yeah. Now that you have listened to that conversation, let's start discussing some of the vocabulary points. Now, the first word that I want to discuss here is the word derogatory. The exact sentence that my friend said, that Kyle said, the interviewer, he said was, Azren, I know you as Azren the Language Nerd, which may seem somewhat derogatory. So derogatory is basically when you have an attitude or you make a comment about someone that is very disrespectful and mean. For example, if I say something like, oh, you know Jack? Jack is such an idiot. Oh my goodness, he's so dumb. That's derogatory. Other derogatory comments sometimes can be racist comments. So if I say something about someone who has a different skin color, maybe white skin or brown skin, maybe you're from China, maybe you're from whatever country. If I make a mean observation or a disrespectful comment about someone with a specific skin color or specific nationality, that is also a derogatory comment. So Kyle was saying, Azren, your name is Azren the Language Nerd. The word nerd, many people think is derogatory. They think it's mean. It's a word that we use to insult them. We say, oh, you're a nerd. Ha ha, you're such a nerd. And some people feel that it has a negative a negative connotation or a negative feeling around it. And so that's why he was asking about this word, my name, Azren the Language Nerd, and why I'm using the word nerd in my name. Another word that came up in this conversation was the word evocative. Now, evocative is anything that brings a very powerful or very strong emotion or maybe feeling or maybe a memory into your mind. So, for example, if I hear a song, a love song, and it's a really good love song, that love song can be very evocative. It can be extremely evocative because it makes me feel the love. I really can feel the love from that song, which is why it's evocative. Or, for example, some of you might have seen the video that I made on this channel when I was in France. I was in a forest. I was visiting a village in France where I actually lived for about, I spent 4 months in that village, approximately. Yes, 4 months. And that village, the trees and the house, there's a very specific smell. And that smell, for me, is very evocative. Because when I smell it, I immediately remember when I used to live there. I have so many memories with that smell. I think, oh yeah, I remember when I built the tree house in this forest. Oh yeah, that smell makes me think of when I would walk every day on this bridge to go to school. Oh yeah, I remember this and that. The smell is very evocative because it makes me feel, it brings this very strong emotion and these very strong memories to my mind. So Kyle, he specifically said, maybe the word nerd isn't as evocative as it was when I was a teenager. So when Kyle was a teenager, his experience with the word nerd is that it brought very powerful emotions. In this case, negative emotions. When you call someone a nerd, it was very insulting. It was very mean. It was very powerful. It was something that if you called somebody a nerd, they would say, whoa, a nerd, oh my God, that's so mean. It would hurt their feelings. So that's what Kyle was saying when he used that word evocative. Another thing that was said is the expression throw a slur at someone. The exact sentence was using the word nerd was a pretty big slur to throw at somebody. A slur is basically something that insults you or that is said that is mean about somebody. That's what it means to throw a slur. You're saying something that is very mean, something very maybe it hurts the reputation. That's kind of what that means. Something else you heard in this conversation was the expression delve into something. What Kyle had said was that he really wants to delve into that persona, the persona of Azren the Language Nerd. So there's two words here that we have to look at. First of all, delve into. When you delve into something, you are investigating something. You are learning more about something. You are researching something. So in our conversation between Kyle and me, Kyle wanted to delve into Azren the Language Nerd. He wants to investigate Azren the Language Nerd. He wants to learn more about Azren the Language Nerd. He wants to ask me more questions about Azren the Language Nerd. So when you delve into something, you are learning more about it. You are investigating, you're researching it, you're thinking about it, you're delving into it. Now, the other word that Kyle used was he wants to delve into that persona. In other words, the persona of Azren the Language Nerd. A persona is a version or a specific part of a person, of someone's personality that they show. So for example, I make videos on this YouTube channel. You watch me on these videos. You see me in these videos. You hear me talk. You learn some English. However, me, the version of me that you see on these videos, it's only one part of my personality. You don't see me when I'm very sad. You don't see me when I'm angry. You don't see me when I'm in my pajamas and my hair is all messy. You're only seeing one part of Azren. You are seeing my public persona. You are seeing who I choose to be when I am in front of the camera. Actors have personas, right? Maybe when you follow their Instagram or their Facebook or whatever social media, you don't see everything. They don't show you everything. They have certain aspects that are private, and there's certain things that they make public. When you look at the person based on everything that is public, that is their public persona. So really, all of us in a way have a persona. If you have a public Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you also kind of have a public persona, I suppose, don't you? So that's kind of what a persona, that's really kind of what a persona means. Another thing that was said is the expression to come up with. So the exact sentence from the interviewer, my friend, was, when did you come up with the name Azren the Language Nerd? So what that means is, when did you think of Azren the Language Nerd? Come up with is another way to say think of something or invent something. So I could say, for example, oh my God, I came up with a great video idea for Easy English. This means that I thought of a great idea for Easy English, a great video idea. I could say, oh my goodness, I came up with a great idea for a company. This means that I thought of a great idea for a company. That's what this expression, come up with, really means. Another word that I used in this video actually is the word genius. A genius is someone who's very, very smart, very intelligent. They're a genius. So what I said in the video was language genius. I was trying to think of, what should my online persona be? What should my online name be? And I thought, should I say Azren the Language Genius? But I didn't want to say that because can I be a genius at languages? Like, I don't know. Is that too confident? Is that exaggerated? Am I being too, I just didn't feel comfortable with the name Azren the Language Genius. It didn't feel right to me. Another really useful phrase that you heard in this conversation is on top of that. I think I said it as well. On top of that is another way to say in addition. For example, I could say, eating watermelon is a good idea. It's really, really tasty. On top of that, it's good for your health. Or I could say, making videos is really fun. On top of that, it helps me in my work life. So on top of that is like saying in addition. You want to add on, you want to add something to what you said previously. Something that's important for the expression on top of that is usually it's something we use more when we speak. It's not something we use in very formal writing, for example. Usually just when we're talking, that's a kind of expression that we use. In this conversation, you also heard the expression to draw someone in. If something draws you in, it means that it interests you. So you might go to a museum and you might see a great painting and you're walking and it's kind of, the painting is a little bit far away, but you see the great colors of the painting and you think, oh, those are some interesting colors. Wow, look at that. And then you start to walk towards the painting. You could say, oh, the colors of that painting drew me in. It's drawing me in because it's interesting you and it makes you want to go closer and look at it a little bit more. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your attention. If you have any questions, please tell me in the comments below. I also encourage you to try writing some sentences with the new words and expressions that we learned in this video, and I will go and correct them for you and say, oh, this is wrong, this is right, it should be like this. So please go in the comments, write any questions and some practice sentences, and I will correct them. Thank you again for watching, and we will talk next time. Bye for now. See you.